That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, Christopher. Didn't think we'd dust this one off the Monday before Memorial Day, but we're doing it. Go for it.
Let's go for it. Hey, let's hit the Lakers-Suns first. Anthony Davis, not a good game. 13 points, only 7 rebounds, minus 18 plus minus. Guys, Lakers, big trouble if AD struggles.
That's a fact, dude. You could say that if it's a total fact because LeBron's not 100%.
Ever again.
Ever again. Oh, yeah, man. That's a wrap. DeAndre Ayton had a nice fat double-double in his first playoff game of his career.
Devin Booker, 34 in his playoff.
Please. Certainly, look, Anthony Davis and LeBron cannot combine for 31 points. That's a fact in a playoff game or in a regular season game from the Lakers to hope to win. Alex Caruso could show as much of his tiger teeth as he wants to. That's just not going to cut it. So, yeah, man. 90 points for the Lakers on the road to start. Just 31 combined from LeBron and AD. No, thank you. That's what we call a wrap. LeBron's got to make, and he misses free throws. Yeah. Come on.
Let's not bury the lead, though. Something that you brought up last week. Chris Paul going down in the game, and we're thinking,
oh, my gosh.
He leaves the court. We're thinking this is another situation Chris Paul gets injured, like he did with the Clippers. The finger, the hand, the hamstring. He comes back out. You can tell he's still hurting, but he's out there enough to still run the team. He wasn't shooting well, but his presence definitely made a difference for the squad.
I know, and we'll see. But we'll see what
can he
the
come
next...
back? Can he keep it up?
Well, that's the question, and you just have to figure that's the low watermark. That there will be a better average for LeBron and Anthony Davis, and that there will be a much higher watermarks that makes that average closer to 50 points combined per game. That's where it's got to be. Got to be around 56, between 50 and 60 points per game between the two of them. What else you got over there, Chris?
All right, guys, let's stay in Los Angeles. 49 points for Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but only 27% from 3, 11 of 40, and they drop game 1 to Dallas at home. Same old Clippers.
Same old Clippers. Do you want to handle that, Clipper, TJ? You want to channel your inner Clipper Darryl, who got called out on national television by Charles Barkley? By the way, in halftime of the Hawks and Knicks, poor Clipper Darryl's just sitting there probably at home watching halftime Hawks-Knicks. He gets run over by the Barkley bus. What, you want to handle that one?
I would have predicted a split for those first 2 games. So as long as we get out of there and get the win in game 2, I don't think there'll be anything to be too upset about. But of course, if we go down 0-2, then that's a problem. But I expected it to be one game to 1 after 2 games.
Let me answer it this way then, since you won't go there, and I'll go there then.
I just went there.
No, you didn't. You went there by saying you wanted to split anyway.
You were very polite.
It's political. You want? I mean, you want me to give you an answer?
Excuse me, but here's my response to that. You want to avoid the Lakers. You want to do some sort of 4-dimensional chess with your final regular season games.
Rich. That
you want to attempt that? Okay, so then you want to rest your guys at the risk of falling out of the Lakers part of the bracket until the Western Conference Finals. You want to do all that. You should be 2-0. You not only should be 2-0, you should be 2-0 with Kawhi from the Spurs, Kawhi from the Raptors showing up. Kawhi from the Spurs and Kawhi from the Raptors has not shown up in several playoff games for the Los Angeles Clippers.
One playoff game.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
What happened? What happened after the 3-1 lead last year?
Kawhi balled. The rest of the team didn't.
Okay. Here's what Kawhi Leonard needs to do. Take the whole damn thing over and put it on his back. DP said it perfectly today. I heard this one on the way in. He said that the L is silent in playoff P. Ooh. Payoff P was that is DP's next level right there. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on. Show up, show out. Because last year's bubble Clippers from game 4 of that series on to the Nuggets showed up. Porzingis goes 4-13, and you still give up 113 points? Come on now. Let's go.
Tranquilo.
What else I got over there?
All right. Let's go to Madison Square Garden. It was rocking in the Garden, the Mecca. It was awesome. Trae Young, though, took over down the stretch. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 9 of 9 from the line. With James Dolan in the house, sitting courtside with his companions and not wearing his mask properly, guys. Trae Young is now the biggest villain in Madison Square Garden over James Dolan.
No, that's not true. That's not true. But what Trae Young is the best player on both teams. He's the best player in this series. I think that proved. I mean, Charles Barkley even said that the Hawks are a better team than the Knicks. But Trae Young is the best player in this series, with all due respect to Julius Randle. And I'm not just saying that just because Randle had a very difficult first foray into the playoffs in Madison Square Garden.
6 of 23.
But, I mean, R.J. Barrett was – he ripped one down. He ripped a dunk down. And that was his first Madison Square Garden shaking, rattling playoff moment.
Big dunk.
Okay. I mean, it was a huge moment.
Huge.
And there were times where the Knicks were taking things over and the crowd's going crazy. You know, Bogdanovich hit some big threes great. And whatever. And Alex Burks played. Did he have 20 in the fourth quarter or something insane like that? But Trae Young joins LeBron as only the second player in NBA playoff history with 30 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds in his playoff debut. And he does it with the Garden rocking like it always rocks, and Spike doing his thing, and all the celebrities are there screaming and yelling, thirsting for a win. And the Hawks come up big, and Trae Young would just slice through this difficult top 5, top 3 NBA defense. He was breaking it down. He's the best player on the court. I love how you try and rope me into going down a Dolan wormhole. If you want me to do that, I'll do it right here. I was conflicted. I heard and saw the Garden in a way that I grew up in, man.
Been a long time.
And it's great to see. And I know it's fun, having fun, Zion saying, it's the Mecca, whatever, and that it's a great place to go, whatever. And Knicks fans are thinking, well, Zion's got his foot out the door already, whatever. You know what I mean? And I understand how people feel that way because you see a game like this and it just sounds different, with all due respect to the other 29 arenas. There's really only one arena that feels like a gym, that feels like one of those, feels like you're in a steel cage wrestling match where the crowd can get in your head, but if you're a special player, you can overcome it and quiet them. And that's how you make your bones in this league. Woo-hoo. Jordan has showed you. Reggie Miller has showed you. Just 2, for instance. Trae Young, that was a huge moment for him, and Hawks fans should be fired up for it. And I was going back and forth thinking, this is a great moment, and I can't stand the owner. And I'm just thinking to myself, just forget it. Just forget it. Put it out of your mind. He's going to make his billions no matter what. Just forget about Oakley getting his ass dragged out of the Garden and the fans are treating like garbage, and Spike himself being totally disrespected, and he still shows up hopping around, jumping around like he's a kid in a candy store, fully knowing that he's a face of this franchise. And why can't I be more like Spike and forget it? And I thought to myself, well, here's probably the reason why. Because I'm wearing a Fire Dolan t-shirt. Watch the whole damn thing. Maybe I should choose a different shirt. Thanks to Alan Dallas for sending that here. Just in time for
Rangers colors.
I understand that because he messed with Rangers fans and John A. Davidson and just another Garden legend that he has disrespected and tarnished and then eventually discarded. It's coming for you one day, Allen Houston.
All right, a couple more.
There's my Dolan wormhole.
I like it.
Did you like that?
I like it. I like it. All right, a couple more. They bounced Steph and the Warriors. They upset the Jazz in Game 1. John Morant, if you haven't noticed, you should be put on notice. Dude is a superstar. The Grizzlies, guys, they're spoiling everyone's playoff party.
Well, everyone's, as in currently the Spurs and Warriors in Game 1 of the Jazz, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're spoiling it. I mean, if they knock out, look, I thought they spoiled it by knocking Steph out, but then they show up in Utah and win that one.
Handled that game.
Okay.
Front
and then
to back.
You know what the interesting thing is? I thought of watching Morant and Curry go at it, and now watching Morant do what he did in Game 1, right? Along with, obviously, his very talented teammates.
Yeah,
they're putting
Dylan
together,
Brooks had a
of
huge
course.
game. Yeah, Valanciunas.
But you know what I thought of watching Morant and Curry together? Are they the two best NCAA tournament players from small schools that made it to the NBA in the last 20-something years? Right?
To like become superstars in the league.
Davidson, Steph Curry,
Yep.
and Murray State's John Morant. What they did in the tournaments, catching our eye and showing how special players they are, and then making it to the NBA. Obviously, Morant's got a way to go before he's in the class of Curry professionally, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's a good one
kid's
to
pretty
think
damn
about.
special. Let's see what
dude.
happens here as he's beginning to get his sea legs under him.
I mean, Utah needs Donovan Mitchell back in the worst,
Yeah, obviously.
in the worst way. So we'll see. He should be back for Game 2. But if Memphis takes Game 2,
I don't think that this is anything writ large for this series. But if you're asking me if they're spoiling a playoff party, I would say no. I mean, they did for the Warriors, but the Warriors, you got to win. Got to win a home game.
True.
You got one more
for the
over there?
NBA though. They spoiled it because, like you said, NBA
Yeah.
probably wanted.
Yeah, and like casual
Casual
fans.
fans would have wanted Steph Curry. So
I
in a
think,
sense,
yes,
yeah,
I do believe.
in that
Was that
sense.
a Turner game last night? I don't know what that was. Whoever was on.
they were.
It was late night Turner. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure Turner would have preferred to see the Warriors, but we're talking about the Grizzlies, and why not?
Absolutely.
But Spider Mitchell's got to get back. They got to get him back fast.
All right, last one. Not only was it Dame time Saturday night, it was Mellow time throwback in Denver. Guys, everyone's sleeping on the Blazers
Blazers.
to come out of the West.
That's name me a year where that wasn't the case.
I picked the Blazers to win this series.
Tell me that. Honestly, it's just like, when is it going to be Dame time for the rest of this country to wake up and look at what time it is? How special he is. We had McCollum on the show a few months ago because we love him.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. I think they win this series. I think you should start taking a look at your friends in a certain state that's east of California and shares a border with Arizona and Utah, right? To see
That specific state?
to see if that specific state has a specific number that you could put on that specific team in Portland to come out of the West. Why can't they win the West?
The whole West.
Who's going to
though?
step in front of Who's going to step in front of their way? Why not?
Why not?
If you need a team that can be put on one team, if you need playoff performances, you need a good defense, and you need a player that can say, "I got this." Put it on my back. Then, of course, you need some other players to take some pressure off if that's necessary. Didn't I just describe the Portland Trailblazers? Maybe not the defense part, so to speak, but when you put up a $123, I mean, Jokic just had a single assist, just one assist. Let him score.
Let him score.
Let him grab some rebounds, but don't let him create. 31 and 13 for Lillard. Come on, man. Let's go.
Hypothetically,
I love
Rich,
the Blazers, man.
Blazers to win the West. Yeah, you could get them for 12-1 right now.
That's pretty good, right? Again, I don't understand this.
That's spicy.
Hey, Chris, it was a little disappointing though to see the fans in Denver boo Melo.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think that's more has to do with I don't think they ever won a playoff series while he was there. Or maybe one.
but for 7.5 years, like
And
you
he
said,
kind of forced his way out to go to the Knicks. I mean, I understand, but it's disappointing. But he quieted them.
yes, he did.
But
shut
at least
them
he
down.
went to the Knicks, and it was worth it for him, certainly in terms of his legacy, and Dolan treated him very well, too. Be careful what you wish for is all I'm saying. But, hey, Knicks and Hawks is a very fun game.
That's gonna be a
Wednesday
fun
night's going to be
series.
get. Ben Stiller has already tweeted out it's going to be loud.
Fun series.
I can't wait for that Wednesday night. I'll be watching. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.